Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaste, friends. It has been quite some time since we last published a video. I was not well in between and then I recovered. There was one video that I was looking into by the AIML group on astrology. It's mostly in Tamil. It's an excellent channel where the basics of calculations in Excel for astrology are all neatly laid out by the author. And one of that on Udu Dasas inspired me a lot. And in fact, I corresponded with the author and I created an Excel based upon the technique that he is presenting, where all the dashas of Udu Dashas can be easily got from one template in Excel. So that I created, but I am not presenting that now. But in a similar vein, I thought let me first start with Yogini Dasha. Yogini Dasa is a very powerful Dasa that I have seen working for multiple instances very clearly. It's of course very well established. It's of course the sages have given that. And if it is in Excel, it's somewhat easier for us to maybe analyze multiple charts and check things. So I thought let us plunge into it, creating the same pattern as the AML's advice on how to do these things in Excel. I have proceeded thanks to the AML author. The Yogini Dasha is what I'm going to present today. Let me show you how it is. See, there are Yogini Dasha is based upon 8 Yoginis. Brahmari, Badrika. It starts with Mangala, and we can map it to the Ardhra Nakshatra. We will tell you later. So Mangala, Pingala, Danya, which is the Moon, Sun, and Jupiter, followed by Mars, Mercury, Saturn, and Venus. So they are given names like Mangala, Pingala, Danya, Brahmari, Bhadrika, Ulka, Siddha. And if you see the allotment of number of years, it is as this. You don't find Ketu there. So there will be only 8 yoginis in the Dasha system. So therefore, only it's not like Vimshottari where you have the 9 elements there. And the allocation, if you see, 22% goes to Rahu Sankata, followed by Venus Siddha, and Ulka is Saturn, so it takes away 17%. The fast-moving planets like Moon gets just 3%. This gets a 6%, and this gets a 8% Jupiter. And the cycle repeats. If you see, it will turn out to be not many years. It is only 36 years for one cycle. And then the cycle follows in the same order of Brahmari, Patrika, Ulka, Siddha, Sankata, and all this. So 36, 36, 36, of course, depending upon the number of years you live, normally say 3 cycles, 108, and then this is how the computation to be made is therefore on the basis of a series of 8. So you can in fact create a regular 8, which I'll do when I do it for the Udu Dashas. You have the Dasha Bhukti Antara numbers as 111, 112 that you can generate these numbers. I will tell you how to generate it later in another video later. And that will be the Dasa, Bhukti, and Antara. And of course, you have seen the number of years allocated for each of these, and the percentage share within that you get for the Bhukti and the Antara, and therefore the number of days allocated for all these DBA, and you can cumulatively get it and make a table like this, which would be very useful for us for computation. And the Yogini I created here. The person has to give the input name of the. We already create the chart of the database. Put in all the names, date of birth, time of birth, and as before. You can even choose your which inamsa you are looking for. Whatever inamsa that you are interested in. So the input is only till longitude. Rest are all calculated by the system as before. and then you can pull your particular chart's name. And what this table is in essence the Yogini Dasha that I given. From the zero time, see, suppose this person is born in 1995, 22nd September, whereas is zero time, that is when his Dasha started, he would have been born in some portion of the nakshatra. So this is again based upon the nakshatra, the moon's position at his birth, that determines the first Dasha. So within that, in Garbha, you would have, some portions would have got lost. So some person, traversed. Therefore, you have to go back in time, and then that begins the dasha. So what this table in essence is the same as the one that before, but to fix it for the individuals. So you have the Dasa, Bhukti, Antara. I have given it in the name of the Yoginis as well as in the name of the Grahas, whatever different mappings. And when the year started, I put a decade there, and the zero time is within the Garbha. So this would not be before birth, in fact. So this is a change in Dasa, which is a helping column. And this is also a ruling star. These are helping columns. And it also identifies, if you refer to V.P. Goyalji's book, excellent book on this topic, he has done a lot of research on this and come out with a new method of mapping the 27 nakshatras to these 8 3s or 24 elements of these Yoginis, which would repeat, say in a phase of. So that's a very difficult task because there are only 8 Yoginis, whereas the 27 nakshatras we map the Vimshotri Dasha based upon 9 grahas. So that they come out neatly with how to do it. I would refer you to the book for you to go and get to know how it is done. And there is also a book by Sanjay, I think Sarjit Paddas, Sri Sarjit Paddas' book on this, on Yogini Dasha, where he identifies in which of the Yogini Dashas, which year, the Dasa year, when activated, will give you the, the actual, see, this is the natal Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury. And in Badrika, first Dasa, when it gets activated, events happen. I mean, that way, which year within that Dasa is what is identified here. I have not much used this portion. We need to check it. In general, I have this tool would be useful for you, not only for exactly getting what the Yogini Dasha that is running, but is also the Dasha star. Because the Yogini Dasha, if you come back here, the Yogini Dasha can be mapped to the different stars, as Goyalji brings out nicely in his research. So you can map Ashwini to Brahmari, and if you see, there will be Purva Bhadrapada, Uttara Bhadrapada, Revati, and from Ulka, which is mapped to Revati, you will have to jump to Rohini. So there will be a jumping factor there. So those would be, these are accounted in the, if you refer the book, then it will be clear for you. So this gets you not only the Dasa, it also gets you the star, because with this only you can easily read the Yogini Dasha nicely. So you have based upon the speed in the star, because the speed would be varying because the number of years allocated for each star is different. The way we map now to stars. So therefore the speed in a star for the Dasa is different. And I also mapped out the calculations for how much fraction of the nakshatra that is covered. So it starts with 0 and covers 1.93% year in this case for his first Dasha, which is Mercury. So there are, I have written some calculations here. If you want to explicitly see them, you can see them. And let me illustrate the use of this Excel for different cases, the way I quickly use it. Okay, let me take up a chart of, I think I have put some number there, 107. This is that of ex-minister P. Chidambaram. Uh, let us check. He got arrested on the August of 21st, 2019. So you can choose the decades year. So 2019 would be in this decade of 2011 to 20. You can choose the decade year. So immediately you get the filters out. And if you see the 21st August, he got so August, you can immediately jump to this portion. So this was Rahu when it started, immediately got arrested. And when you check here, it was Sankata, and Sankata happens to be in 3 stars. It would be in Mrigashira, Asta, Sankata. If you see, it would occur 3 times. Sankata is also occurring Mrigashira. Sankata would occur here in what else? First is it starts with Mrigashira Sankata, then Asta as Sankata, then Uttarashada also as Sankata. So the Yoginis are mapped differently, and his time when he got arrested was in Asta. So this nakshatra progression is a very helpful proportion. You can refer the book of Goyalji, and Asta, of course, is in Kanya. Therefore, you can treat this as the progressed lagna, and you can read the chart that way also. Anyway, Sankata is a difficult time. Not always. I mean, you don't have to go by the word itself, because Rahu times are good. But in this case, if you see, it is the eighth Lord Jupiter is sitting there. And with Surya, the government. Therefore, yeah, he had to suffer ignominy because the eighth Lord was involved. Because Asta only gives you that it is this you have to focus on. So I think that was coming out nicely. Yeah, I would strongly say Jupiter's role there brought out the problem. Of course, Rahu definitely. So both the Dasa Lord as well as the Dasa Nakshatra would help us to prognosticate. The next, let us maybe jump to Abdul Kalam's chart, which I have standard. So this is Abdul Kalam's chart. So you just clear all the filters that he used. Then let us check specific dates. He faced his last day on the 27th of July 2015. So 2015 is a time frame year. Okay. So July, this was the time when he faced his Saturn, Mercury was the trouble creator. Ulka. Ulka is always a troublesome times. So Sankata, Ulka all, and Uttra Palguni, Ulka and Purva Palguni. Purva Palguni is in Simha. And if you see here, is Simha Lord is with Ketu, and it is in the second house of death. That is also definitely there. That is what, of course, we can definitely. Saturn himself is in the sixth house. So Saturn is a killer because this is the seventh lord. Of course, he is in the sixth house. That's okay. But he's second to the moon. I mean, you can treat it in multiple ways. But I would, it will indicate to you that Ulka, the law, nakshatra, the progress lagna was here. So you can base it upon that. Now let us move on to, say, I have 261. This is that of M. Karunanidhi, the ex-chief minister, who died in 2018. He died. So let us filter out 2018 from here. So it is very quick to filter out the dates. And anyway, he was also running Saturn Dasha, which is Ulka. So Ulka is a difficult Dasha anyway at later years, last phase of his life when he was already 96, 95 years old or so. So, and he died on the 7th of August. August 7th would come here in this phase from to a given year. So almost Saturn Bhukti was at the end when it really killed him. and it was Revati, and Revati is year. If you treat this, of course, you don't see it immediately. Anything, of course, it's the ninth house of maturity. The ninth Lord is well placed in the fifth house. That's why he lived long. But again, Ulka itself, Revati is, of course, if we map it to our Vimshatri Dasha, it will be Mercury, which is the 12th Lord. And of course, it's the last of nakshatras. So it is, difficult times. I mean, predictions is left to you. I don't get into it. Just the Revati part is brought in here. So prognostication should be easier for you that way. Let me take one more example, 241. And then I clear all charts here quickly. This is this is 1903 bond. So you will have times which are before 1900 where Excel will fail. So I will have trouble in the first phase here. So maybe I will skip these things because dates prior to 1900 are not still amenable in my Excel versions. Okay, maybe I have multiple cases. I have verified my own case, also my son's cases. Maybe I'll stop here and leave it to you to use this and check if things are working out. And if you are able to quickly verify the dates, that you can keep on entering any number of dates in to the bottom here. This is the name of the person, and this is the DOB. And in fact, I used the book also, which gives plenty of examples of Goyalji's. And then, in fact, I entered a few dates from the book and verified what it is given there comes out from the Excel as well. So, thank you very much for your patience, and give me feedback on how it is so that we can proceed. In similar lines, we have already erected cases for other Dasha systems in Excel, which I can pass it on to you down the line. I'll put the downloadable link for this in the description just to use it and give me feedback. Thank you very much.